A small, secluded house on the outskirts of a village. The house has been abandoned for years, with rumors of strange happenings around it. The air is thick with a sense of unease as we approach the dilapidated house. Its windows, once shining with life, are now dark and empty, staring like hollow eyes. The old wooden door creaks in the wind, barely hanging on its hinges. The house seems alive, but not in a way that brings warmth or comfort. It feels as though it is watching, waiting. For what? No one knows. A group of curious friends, sane, Adil, Sarah, and Mira decide to visit the haunted house, daring each other to explore its eerie secrets. They had heard stories of strange occurrences, of flickering lights and whispers in the night, but none of them had ever truly believed in the supernatural. They were there for the thrill, for the adrenaline of confronting the unknown. As they step inside, a chill fills the air. The house is dark, and the only sound is the echo of their footsteps on the creaky floorboards. The walls are covered in dust, and cobwebs hang from the corners of the ceiling. A thick silence pervades the space, broken only by the occasional rustling of something unseen. Nothing here but old furniture and forgotten memories. Zane laughs, trying to break the tension, but Sarah feels an oppressive presence, something not quite right. She looks around, her heart racing, as if she can sense the house's dark history. They explore the house, room by room, discovering old, rotting furniture, shattered mirrors, and long-forgotten relics. But then they hear something stranger. Low, whispering sound, almost like a hum, coming from the attic. "Did you hear that?" Mira asks, her voice barely a whisper. "I didn't hear anything," Zane replies, dismissing her fears. But Adil, who is standing closest to the stairs, leading up to the attic, feels a sudden unease. His feet hesitate as they move upward, but his curiosity pushes him forward. He opens the attic door with a groan, and as the light spills into the dark room, they see something they weren't prepared for, an old, dust-covered mirror standing in the center of the room. "Why would anyone leave a mirror here?" Sarah mutters, her unease growing. They all stare at the mirror, its glass dark and clouded, reflecting only shadows and the dim light from their flashlight. Mira, who had been feeling nervous the entire time, is the first to suggest leaving. "Let's get out of here," she says, her voice shaking. But it's too late. The door slams shut behind them, and the room grows colder, the whispers louder, swirling around them. The mirror, once cloudy, now seems to shimmer with an unnatural glow, and the reflections are no longer their own. Suddenly, the air thickens. The whispers grow louder, more distinct. They are not just sounds anymore, they are words. Words they cannot understand, yet they feel the weight of them pressing down on their minds. Sarah screams as something cold brushes against her arm. She spins around, but there's no one there. The others feel it too. The air seems alive, moving around them, brushing against their skin. Adele tries to open the attic door, but it's stuck, refusing to budge. They're trapped. The light from their flashlights flickers and dims, casting long, distorted shadows against the walls. The sound of something scratching at the walls fills the air, a noise so unnatural that it sends shivers down their spines. Suddenly, Mira's voice echoes. In the darkness, "Who's that behind you?" The others turn, but there's nothing there. Just the same empty, decaying room. But when they look back at Mira, her face has changed. Her eyes are wide and glassy, her expression twisted with terror. Before they can ask her what's wrong, a figure appears in the corner of the room, a shadowy, dark figure with glowing eyes. Its face a grotesque, contorted mask of pain and anger. It moves closer, its steps heavy and slow, dragging its feet as if it's bound by some dark force. The group realizes they are not alone. The house is not empty. It is inhabited by something dark, something that feeds on fear, something ancient and malevolent. Sarah's breath comes in short, frantic gasps as she backs away from the figure. "What is that? What is it?" "It's a curse," Zane says, his voice trembling. "This house, it's not just haunted. It's bound by a force, an evil presence that lingers." Adil's mind races. "We have to leave. We need to get out of here." But the door won't open. The shadows on the walls shift, and the whispers grow louder, more insistent. They are no longer just in the room. They are all around them, swirling in the air, crawling into their ears, suffocating them with their presence. Zane looks at the mirror again, and his heart stops. The reflection is not of him, but of something else, something dark and twisted, with hollow eyes and a grin that stretches unnaturally wide. The figure in the reflection moves, its hand reaching out as if trying to pull him into the mirror. The group scrambles, panic overtaking them as the temperature drops even further. The figure in the corner of the room grows stronger, its shape becoming clearer. A tall, gaunt figure with limbs that stretch unnaturally long. It moves closer, dragging itself through the air like a shadow that refuses to die. But there is something in the room. A sudden realization that the house itself is feeding off their fear. The whispers are not just voices. They are manifestations of their own anxieties, their own insecurities. The house has been feeding off the emotions of those who have entered it, growing stronger with each new victim. "We need to fight back," Adil yells. They gather their courage, their hands shaking but determined. Zane, his mind racing, recalls an old story he once heard, a way to break the curse of a haunted house. They each focus, pushing aside their terror, their doubts. The whispers grow louder, but they block them out. The figure approaches, but they stand firm, refusing to be consumed. Finally, with a collective shout, they turn towards the mirror and, together, break its reflection. The glass shatters, the sound like 1,000 screams in the silence of the room. The shadows dissipate, the whispers fade, and the oppressive atmosphere lifts. The door opens, and the group stumbles out of the attic, gasping for air. They find themselves back in the main hall, the house now eerily quiet, as if nothing had ever happened. But they know better. They know the truth. The house had fed on their fear, and they had narrowly escaped. As they leave the house, they turn back one last time, but the dark figure stands in the window, watching them. The house may have been quiet for now, but they know it will wait. The curse of the Chhalava will never truly be broken.